Welcome to the channel. This time we are working on the vent windows on the 63. So if you're tuning in for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below the video, or somewhere at the end there'll be my face will pop up, so be sure to click that and subscribe if you haven't already to be able to see when the new videos come out on this car or a bunch of other Corvettes. So to start restoring the vent windows, obviously they were out of the car first, but the first thing I did was remove the glass. To do that, whenever you open up the vent window, you can see between the frame and the glass there's a little gap. So I put a little screwdriver, not too small because you don't want to make any marks on the glass. And you kind of just do that just to start work it, and you can work it down over here, and it has a sealant in here already. It's pretty tight. So you work the glass out here, and you do the same down here. And I wanted to take the glass out first before I drilled this rivet because I didn't want to hurt the glass. So the next step was to drill this rivet because this seal around here goes through the pivot that this is on. So to replace that seal you have to drill this rivet out. So once you have that rivet out, this frame comes out, and then there's a screw in the back here that holds the top of this stainless frame to the front part of the frame. So you can remove that, and then you can remove this rubber, and this rubber slides out from this channel. There are two rivets that hold this fuzzy in here. There's one somewhere down here, and there's one like down here on this channel, so you can drill those out. And then this back rubber piece here has a bunch of tabs that you bend over, so that slides out, and that also helps hold this fuzzy in. So once you disassemble that, then it's on to polishing. So you can use one of the big buffers, the high-speed buffers, or I bought a little buffing kit from Eastwood just that I can put on my drill, and I can do small stuff because I don't want to damage this stuff and I don't want it to be thrown. So I could clamp it down in my workmate, and I polished the inside, the outside, and all this stuff. So once all this is polished up, then you work in the opposite manner. So you first put in this lower seal, and I used some weather strip adhesive, and I used two screwdrivers because it has a cross section that flares out like where my knuckles are. So you can kind of put one in the channel and use a screwdriver to push the other one down, work your whole way down. I started at this end, and you're going to need a lot more material in here than you think to get this to line up and get the screw hole to line up. And then after that's in, you can slide this piece in. I put some, once again, weather strip adhesive on it, and then it fits into slots built into this piece. And then I put this back channel on. Once you put that channel on, you can bend the tabs over in the back and rivet it on. Once all that's done, then it's time to rivet the frame back together, and I bought a special riveting tool to do that. So once I put it in a little jig that I made to hold it That way I can make sure the rivet got nice and tight. My vent window is jigged up, so now that I have this rubber in, I slid the correct side vent window frame, or the glass frame in. And I have my rivet sitting in here the correct way. It only goes one way because there's a shoulder on it. So it only lets it go one way, so the peened end faces down. So I have this whole apparatus here holding it up. I just taped everything heavily so that way it wouldn't get scratched. And I'm holding the vent window down with this channel in the back. And then I have the back of the rivet sitting on my dolly that I'm using as like an anvil. And then I have these bungee cords here just to keep a little extra tension on it. Just so that way it keeps someone pushing down on it. So I have, to peen them, I have two tools. This one I got at Carlisle for doing the hollow rivets like in the fresh air vents. And it's nearly identical to this tool, but I wanted to get the right tool for the job for this because I didn't want to mess this up. I don't want to have to redo it. So this is a vent window rivet tool for like a passenger car, truck, Corvette, anything. I think it's from like the early 60s to the 70s, mid to late 70s that use this kind of a rivet. It comes with rivets in the kit. I got it on eBay for like 12 bucks. It came with this and two rivets, but these rivets are a little bit longer and they have a different finish to them. So I'm not going to use those. I bought the correct ones somewhere else. So I'm just going to place the tool in here, give it a couple of whaps and see how it tightens up. But I had one improvement. I added this clamp here between my dolly and the vent window to keep this from slipping over that way because this flexes a lot. So figured that out. But one neat thing about this tool is that it has a seat around it here, right there. So that way it tells you when to stop. So I have a little bit more to go, but it kind of gives you like a stopping point. So I'm going to pull it out and see how tight it is, and if I need to keep going, I'll keep going. Once that's done, you can put the glass in. The glass has a strip, I don't know if it was like a sealant at one point or like a piece of like rubber tape, but it goes on the inside of this stainless or chrome piece against the glass to keep it from vibrating. So I cleaned that up and put weather stripping adhesive on both sides of that to stick it to the glass, and then weather strip adhesive on the back of that. I started with the bottom, pushing it in, working it down, trying to get it towards this corner, because if you don't get the glass in far enough, the vent window won't close. So you have to keep pushing it, and then I just kept grabbing it and squeezing it, and it just kind of, just carefully obviously, got it into place. And then you're home free once you do that. Then it's on to getting in the car, then you can put your regulator in. After that, it's good to go. So not too bad of an install. Enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up, and if you need to install your vent window or your glass in your car, I have another video for that, which I'll put in the description or in one of the information bubbles above me. So be sure to check that out and check out my other videos, and I have a lot of other Corvette videos coming up. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I got a lot of work to do, so I'll catch you guys later.